Don't forget the doc. Several network participants recently called into Dr. Rick Wright's Old School Sundays radio show. Check this out.
Healthcare, that Dr. Boyce Watkins. I haven't forgotten you, guy. You're still there, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I sure am.
Boyce, what are some of your thoughts today? We're in an election year, big election coming up, man. Our community is in trouble. Not just our community, the whole country is in trouble as far as I'm concerned. And we need some dynamic, incredible leadership. Boyce, you are on just about every media outlet in America, man. CNN, MSNBC, you name it. I see Dr. Boyce Watkins. Boyce, give us an analogy of what needs to be done today, man. Go ahead, talk to us.
Well, I think that when we talk about improving our community, I believe in starting from a position of positivity. I don't think that we should begin the language and begin the conversation from a disposition of negativity, one that says our community's in shambles, or we are in, we're a troubled people, or things like that. I don't believe that black people are a troubled people. I believe that we are a complex people. I believe many of us are making good decisions. Many of us are making bad decisions, and the same thing can be said for any community. If you go right down to SU's campus, you'll see a lot of kids making very bad decisions every Friday night. So my belief is that what we do is we don't necessarily run from our weaknesses. We build on our strengths. I think that we look at the fact that the black community and the black family, in spite of common belief, the black family is very strong. We have a lot of love for one another in our communities. Now, while my biological father did not hang around to take care of me, I had a lot of people in my family and extended family who were there for me, who provided a lot of love and guidance for me. So it doesn't mean that we don't have hurdles to overcome, but it certainly means that we have a lot to be proud of. And I think that working from a position of pride is a great way to create positions of improvement, because to love yourself or to uplift yourself, you must know how to love yourself. And so love is where everything must begin.
Well, Dr. Boyce Watkins, I'm telling you, turned out mighty fine, man, although Dad was not around, man.
Well, you work with what you got. When he stepped out, another man stepped in and took his place. So, my belief is that for every black man doing the wrong thing, I think that there is a black man out here doing the right thing. So we need to grab the guys with the right thing and use them as positive reinforcement to get other guys to want to do the right thing. That's how you build.
I like that.
Dr. Boyce Watkins, give this incredible radio audience a chronology of your academic background.
Well, let's see. I went through high school, and I fumbled my way through high school. I had terrible grades. I was not a very good student. I was placed in special education. I was not college material, so to speak. The problem is that I was really a statistic. That happens to black boys all across America, which is one of the things I try to fight against. I ended up really in college by accident, but once I got there, I found myself and said, hey, wait a minute, I can actually do this stuff. And so I just kept on going, and eventually I finished my bachelor's degree in finance, economics, and business management, and then I went and got a couple master's degrees.
Hey, hold on, back up, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Name those schools out for us, man.
Okay, no problem. University of Kentucky is where I got my bachelor's degree. I got one of my master's degrees from the University of Kentucky, another one from the Ohio State University, another one from the University of Rochester. I got my PhD at the Ohio State University, and then I joined the faculty at Syracuse in 2001. And so for the first 4 years of my time at Syracuse, I spent a lot of time doing a lot of traditional academic research, but my inspirations were Michael Eric Dyson and Julianne Marveau and Cornel West. Now they're my friends, but at that time they were my heroes, and they inspired me to engage in black public scholarship. Now, that's the type of scholarship that doesn't get a lot of respect in the traditional academic circles. They look at it and say, well, that stuff doesn't matter. What's all this stuff about going out in the community, et cetera, et cetera? But what I did was I took the chancellor's mission on scholarship in action and said, I'm going to use this scholarship in action as my avenue to reach out and try to impact my people. So that's when you started seeing all the television appearances and whatnot. And so while it's been wonderful, and I've gotten a lot of respect, a lot of love from people in the community, Reverend Jesse Jackson has been a wonderful supporter. We were on the radio today, and I just love the man to death. I don't care what anybody has to say about him. So while that love and support is coming from my people, it doesn't come from everybody, and so honestly, as much as people feel that they might need what I do, I need them much more than they could ever need me.
Well, Dr. Boyce Watkins, we are proud of you. Your dear brother, Dr. Rick Wright, man, I know what you've gone through. And you're making an incredible contribution to the academic treatise of the academic journals, the academic atmosphere, and, of course, giving us some leadership on some very specific problems that we're facing in the African-American community, man. And so proud. I want you to just keep your eye on the prize and you keep on keeping on, man.
And let me just say something about
George
Dr.
Kilpatrick.
He talked about coming from a position of strength. And I think he's absolutely right about that language, that we should talk about the strengths of the community, reinforce those strengths, not pretending that the things that Walt talked about don't exist. You know, to begin the statement that our kids are lost means that we don't have hope for our kids. In other words, we should begin the statement that our kids have promise. And it's up to us to ignite that promise. It's up to us to make sure that as men in the community that we step our game up. I was listening to a message in church today about fathers and men taking the lead regarding their family's spirituality in terms of bringing the family to their spiritual place, believing that is the way to do it. So I agree with Dr. Boyce in that sense that we must begin to change that language. You know, that's what I do on our show, New Inspiration for the Nation. It's about language and what matters. And when we change that language, words have power. And if we begin to say over and over again, our kids have promise, our kids have promise, our kids are a blessing to our community. When we begin to do that, I believe that that'll be a better step for all of us, because we won't begin that conversation from a deficit. We'll begin that conversation from a position of strength.
Hey, George Kilpatrick, Dr. Boyce Watkins, here's another take, too. Here's another take.
Okay.
The African-American community is doing quite well, too, in America. We have a lot of great success stories, too, and I think we need to talk more about our success stories and get those success stories projected throughout the country and throughout the world. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on our show. All right?
Yeah, Dr. Rick some people think that if you talk about success, that you're not dealing with some of those issues.
George, don't even start that spin.
Okay.
Don't you dare even start that
you
spin
understand
on this radio
some people
show.
think
That is a spin, and don't you dare fall for that.
You understand? Some people say
that. But we're in media. We're on radio right now, and don't you dare perpetuate that stereotype and that spin.
That's what I'm saying. Don't fall for the okie-doke.
Now we're getting there.
You understand?
Because we have a lot of great stories in our community.
Right, because some people think that if you do that, then you're not dealing with whatever.
We are dealing with a highly technological society that needs people who are smart.
That's right.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I would, Dr. Boyce, you in this thing, ain't you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm in it. I agree with my man George.
That's
one thing I'll say is that, I appreciate the respect you and the love you guys give me, man, but I have so much respect for you, Dr. Wright, man, and for Walt, what he does, man, and George. I mean, George was down with me, way back in the day,
yes.
and I love what you guys do in the community, and I think that those sorts of think about this. We are 4 black men, and so this idea that that the negative stories need to get told on CNN, and the positive ones, the stories that you and I have all lived, should be neglected. That doesn't make much sense to me. I think we need to tell all the stories so that the good can inspire more good.
Well, I tell you what, we have Miss Pamela Hunter here, also a great success story.
Superstar
Absolutely.
Sister here also. Well, boys, let me let you get back to being busy. I'm going to call you back, man. I'm going to have you on the show more times today, all right? You'll be right there at the same number, right?
Yeah, I'll be working all day, brother. I'll be right here.
I'll call you back. Because the audience demographics changes throughout the afternoon, and, of course,
big shout out to the Syracuse University Network. Oh, love you, baby. We're getting there. Technologically sophisticated in 2008 from Dr. Rick Wright, Power 106.9 Radio here in Syracuse for the whole world. Loving you, baby. Love you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
The network reminds you that you too may call in to Dr. Rick Wright on Sundays between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check in with the doc at area code 315-428-1069. Don't forget the doc.